Namaste, everyone, and welcome to this full moon meditation. Before we start, let's ask for divine blessing. Just open your palms to the Divine Supreme One, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to all the spiritual elders, to all the holy masters, to all the saints, archangels, holy angels, especially the angels of love, to my teacher, Master Choa Kok Sui, Mahaguji Mailing, and all the higher beings. We humbly invoke for divine light, divine love, divine guidance, and divine protection. Thank you for opening our hearts, our minds, our souls to God's infinite love, mercy, and compassion. We thank you in full faith. So be it. All right. So before we do our meditation, we're going to have a short lecture. And as always, these lectures are on different spiritual topics. And since we're coming up to Valentine's Day, the Festival of Hearts, we'll focus on the L word. Love. Anyway, so what we're trying to do this time is to kind of understand it more, rather than just say, love is this mushy, warm feeling, being sentimental. That's only one aspect of it. People don't realize love is so expansive, so wide, so deep, that it affects every part of our lives. But most people just think, I have this loving feeling, I like that person, and that's love. So let's break it down and try to understand a little deeper so it's easier for us to connect with people. And more importantly, to learn why we don't connect to people and how to fix it. All right? So first thing is, as Master Choa always says, there are different levels of truth. On one level of truth, love is a feeling. It's an emotion. It's obvious, right? You look at someone, you care for them, you want to do something for them, you enjoy it when they're around you, and so on and so on. Now, so on one level of truth, it's an emotion or a feeling. But on a higher level of truth, people also have to understand this love is a certain frequency of energy. And this frequency of energy has many sub-frequencies. All right? So, for example, you have physical love. That's why we're using the tradition of Greece, where they have different types of love. So, the very physical love, they call it eros, right? And that's physical attraction. Then you have phileo, which is almost like a friendly, brotherly sister love. You look at someone, you say, this person looks hot physically. They look good. He or she looks very attractive. That's eros. That's physical connection. And you have a person that you spend time with. That person is almost like a business partner. Or let's say you're friends. You go out and bowl together. You go watch a movie together. Just good buddies. Or the women, you spend time talking about your stories. Like a certain connection. That's phileo, right? Phileo, if I'm not mistaken. And you have storge. Now, this part I actually contacted Greece to make sure I pronounce it right. It's spelled Storge. So I've heard people say storge, right? Well, I contacted Greece and said, it's storge. You don't pronounce the G. Anyway, that's the best Greek you're going to hear from a Chinese guy. So storge is more of an affectionate love, a certain love that you feel like you want to belong to each other. Okay, not only in a physical way, an emotional way. It's just that there's a feeling of strong connection. So, for example, when a parent loves the child loves the parent. That story, there's a strong affectionate connection. Or you have a married couple or a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, that they have a strong connection, not necessarily physical. The physical part could be part of it, but it's more of like, you love the person, you genuinely care about them, and you always want to be with them, and you want what's best for them. All right? And of course, there's agape. Agape is divine love, or if you want to break it down, it's more sacrificial love. You'll do anything for them, whatever is best for them, you care for them unconditionally. Now, so when you try to understand this love, it's not just, I feel good, I love you, blah, 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 so on, so on. And a little bit of argument happens, I don't love you anymore. That's just sentimental, how do you call it? Mushiness. It's still good, nothing wrong with it. But to really understand love, you have to realize that there are many types of love. Now, since this is about a loving connection, let's talk about connection for a second. Once you understand energy, you also realize that these connections are actually energy cords. Like a cord. You connect your appliance to a wall, you have an electrical cord. You also have energy cords. That's why you say, I have a strong connection with that person. So one of the ways to understand it is like when you find somebody physically attractive, from the sex chakra, or the lower chakras, right? There's an energetic pathway, a connection to the other person's lower chakras. Makes sense. And then you have filial and storge, where you care about the person, right? Just different levels of caring and different types of caring, but a lot of that has to do with the heart chakra, right? When you care for someone, you love them as a friend, you love them as your father, mother, wife, children, whatever. That's on the heart chakra. Okay. Then you have agape. Agape is a combination of heart and crown. Okay. More of the crown, less of the heart. So the way to understand this is to actually feel that energy. And I'd like to invite you, everybody, just rub your hands together, press the center of your palms. Now, if it's okay with you, since this is being seen by, thousands and thousands of people all over the world, we'll skip some of the experiments because some of you might be too far out. But if you want to do it, essentially you scan your sex chakra and you think of someone you find sexually attractive. Your sex chakra will go like that. Anyway, let's not do that now, but you get the idea. So let's start with the heart. Okay, put your hand like this. Feel your heart chakra. Say, my heart chakra. All right, got it? Now watch. Feel it. Some of you are very sensitive. You start from afar, slowly come in, say, my heart chakra or my heart center. Now think of a friend, someone you care about, not in a romantic way, but just you care for someone. Someone that, a buddy of yours, a friend of yours, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, no romantic connection. Just you care about the person. They're a good friend. They'll help you out. You do things together. Okay, think about them. Visualize them in front of you, or say their name in your mind a few times. Now scan your heart. Okay? Feel something? If you're sensitive, you notice it's pushing a little, right? Now here's what I want you to do. Feel that loving energy, or feel that frequency, or that energy. Just kind of touch it. Feel that energy. Just kind of feel what it feels like. All right, got it? Okay, shake your hand. Next, think of someone that you have maybe a romantic connection or something deeper than just a friend. Okay, maybe you love your mother, your father, your brother. You see something a little deeper and a little more intense. All right, so visualize the person in front of you. Say their name, or if you're parents, just say them, mom, dad, or your children, whatever. Okay. Good. Feel the love for this person. Okay, feel. Okay. You can feel your heart expanding, right? Now, do the same thing. Just feel the energy. Just kind of touch it like this. Okay, some of you are sensitive. You notice it seems to be finer. It vibrates a little higher. Yes? Okay, shake your hand. Next, put your hand here. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. Just feel your crown. Say, my crown center. Your crown chakra, yeah? Say, my crown. All right? Now, some of you, just close your eyes. Some of you are devoted to God, to a particular saint, a particular spiritual teacher, right? Or even a religion, yeah? Think of some cause or some spiritual ideal that you're very, very attached to, okay? Feeding hungry people, teaching children, something that is completely out of service and love, that is impersonal, okay? Try to feel it. Or visualize yourself feeding people across the world who are hungry, okay? Feel it. What do you notice? You notice your crown expanding. All right, put your hand down. So that gives you an idea that different types of love affect different chakras. Now, your heart chakra is here, the crown chakra is here, right? Your sex chakra is below. As you go up in vibration, sex chakra, heart, crown, what happens is the frequency keeps going up. As the frequency keeps going up, it becomes more and more expansive. All right? For example, when it's physical, you find somebody physically attractive, that's very, very low chakra. So it's just like something solid. It's very compacted. It has defined shape. So energetically, the energy is also very low vibrating. Not bad, but just frequency-wise, it's lower. So it doesn't expand as much. Okay? Then you have the heart chakra. When you love your brother, your sister, love your wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, it vibrates higher. From the sex chakra of the heart chakra, it's expansive. it vibrates higher. When you get to the crown, when you start feeling or sensing a certain caringness or love for someone you probably never meet, or someone that you don't get any benefit from, no feedback at all, like feeding somebody across the world, or somebody in an earthquake or a flood, and you're giving money to charity. If you look at the news, you feel very sad for them, and you gently want to help them. That's a crown. That's universal love. So it goes up in frequency. As it goes up in frequency, it expands even more. So this love is not just like, oh, I feel love for you, boom. There are different degrees of it. And it's interesting, in the Greek tradition, you have eros, phileo, storge, agape, and it actually gives you a pathway on how to have a stronger connection to God. Okay? So to make you understand a little deeper, it's something like this. As you connect with people, you have these energy connections, right? By understanding these connections and what chakras and what type of love you have, you get an idea why certain relationships work and certain relationships don't work. So if a person A and person B, person A, person B, if the connection more is than low chakras, then what they enjoy themselves being together, doing physical things, right? Outdoor sports, something really physical, physical attraction, sex, so on and so on. That's lower chakras. Then if the connection is stronger in the heart area, then regardless of having physical or not, they just feel like there's a bond, a certain emotional bond that say, hey, I really enjoy spending time with you, discussing things. I can share, happiness, happy events, sad events. I know you can hear me and we can communicate. That's heart chakra. Then, as the vibration goes up, when the two people, the connection is more in the crown chakra, just being with each other, they feel a certain connection. Haven't you noticed sometimes you meet someone, you say, I know this person. Not physical, not emotional, you just say, I have a sense I've met this person and this person has a part in my life. The connection's on the crown. That's a soul connection, a spiritual connection. Now, the mistake most people make is they go, oh, they're my soulmate. You see, this soulmate thing, we've talked about this many, many times before. Unless you really have somebody who could see energy, look at the connection, or have a person really have clear understanding, a lot of times it's just a sex chakra talking. The sex chakra say, oh, you're hot, you're my soulmate. But in reality, a real soulmate also has many levels. Let me just talk about that very quickly. If you have someone that you're on a ship together, you call them shipmates, right? If you're in a class together, you call them classmates. So a soulmate, just like shipmates and classmates, are not always something that has an emotional or romantic connection. It just simply means someone you're with at that particular moment, or that particular time frame, or in that occupation. All right? So sometimes when you connect with someone, you go, oh, this is my soulmate. Yes, it could be something that is very, very intimate. In many lifetimes before, you spent lots of loving time together romantically. Or it could be in ancient times in Egypt, you both serve as priests or priestesses in a temple. You worked together, you had the same teacher, right? You did the rituals together. Or you were a monk, that person was a monk, you work very, very well together. It could be purely like a camaraderie. But you serve the same teacher, you serve the same master, right? So this soulmate thing it just simply means the souls were together before. Now, so if it's a soulmate, the crown chakras have a strong resonance. Just like you have a tuning fork, you go into a room, you hit it, something else in the room that has a similar frequency will also resonate. It's like that. So there's a recognition. So that's a form of connection. That crown chakra is very, very activated. So you love them, you care for them, you like doing things with them, even though might not be physical attraction, emotionally, mentally might not be a strong connection, but there's a certain knowing. The key is knowing. So these are different types of love. Now, before I forget, some of you go, well, where does self-love come in? Self-love comes from your solar plexus. So if this is your heart chakra, right? It's love for others. The solar plexus right below is love for oneself. This is called self-interest. I remember Grandmaster Cho was saying before, the mistake a lot of people on the spiritual path make is they make certain generalizations. They say, oh, anything that's good for you is not good for you. What the heck does that mean? In other words, if you do something and you benefit from it, oh, that's being selfish. He says, that's not true. It's part of your survival instinct. He said, what's wrong with having a roof on top of your head? What's wrong with having money to provide for yourself and your family? Right? What's wrong with having a certain level of luxury, to be comfortable, as long as nobody got hurt when you got it, and you equally share that with other people? You get the idea? So this self-interest is very, very important, because this self-interest allows you to take care of yourself. So taking care of yourself is good. Now, the mistake most people make is they cannot differentiate between selfishness and self-interest. He said, when somebody says, oh, you have self-interest, you go, what's wrong with that? Selfishness is having self-interest, and in order to satisfy that self-interest, someone gets hurt. That's selfishness. So here's the problem. A lot of people don't realize this self-interest and love for others are constantly balancing. Constantly balancing. I care for you. Okay, that's good. But if you don't love me back, or you don't return the favor, or you don't reciprocate that love, oh, I don't love you anymore. That's from the solar plexus. In other words, the heart says, I love you. The solar plexus waits. Oh, do I get something back? Nope. I don't know if I want to continue loving you. You get the point? So when they say unconditional love is literally, I love you, period. It's not like geometry. Remember geometry we went to school? This angle is congruent to this angle if and only if there's a bunch of rules. It's just like saying, I love you if and only if you love me back, you pay my bills, you take out the trash every weekend, you cook for me, and so on and so on. There's always if and only if. Unconditional love is like a parent loving a baby. A baby could pee, could poop, have to be fed, wakes you up in the middle of the night. You don't say, I don't know if I'm going to love you anymore, You love the baby regardless. That's unconditional love. That's the heart chakra at its purest without the solar plexus. Okay? So that's why it's very, very important. If you look at your chakras, the solar plexus is down here, the heart is here. The heart is closer to the crown. So the crown is the major stepping stone. The heart is the major stepping stone to unconditional universal love. So this is unconditional love to someone, to a group of people, right? Someone you interact with. That's why Messenger calls this personal love. You can have personal love to one person, your family, but these are people you're connected to. That this heart chakra does not extend as far as the crown because the frequency vibrates only to this level. The crown, on the other hand, vibrates much higher and more expansive. The best way to understand it is like this. If you have a ice cube, it has very defined shape, very, very physical, right? So just imagine physical love is like that. That person is in front of you, you see them, you touch them, you feel like, okay, physical love. Then heart chakra is like water. It flows. Yeah? You love them, you care for them, you have this feeling of, oh yeah, that feels wonderful. When that person's there, oh, I'm swooning, whatever. That's a heart chakra. Okay? When it gets to the crown is like the water turning to water vapor. It becomes so high in frequency and it just expands everywhere. So the question is, how does this all fit together? One is a stepping stone for the other. See, Eros, Phileo, Storge, and Agape, if you put it over, it's a ladder. Like a ladder going up and ultimately to Agape. This Agape is unconditional love for all. God's love. So if you study the Christian tradition, John 3:16 says, for God so loved the world, right? So that Agape is the word that is used in that verse. It's interesting in English. Of course, I'm no Greek scholar, okay? But when you look at the Bible, a lot of the words that we use in English are very generalized. You see the word love, correct? But in the Bible, the love is defined, very clear. If it's agape, if it's phileo, and if I'm not mistaken, also storge. Eros, I'm not too sure if it's in there. You can do your research. But the point is, whenever God is showing love to humanity, the word is always agape. And from the human viewpoint, if the person is not so developed yet, spiritually very developed, they love God with filio, not yet agape. Because the love of God and love of humans, incomparable. You get the idea? So that gives you a secret, the secret of the stepping stone. So, in spiritual practice, some of you have heard of transmutation of energy. So this sexual energy, when that sexual energy moves up to the heart, it becomes, the frequency changes. It becomes love, filio, storge, or maybe even intimacy. Intimacy, as in you care for the person like they're part of you. You love to be with them, but not just the physical side, but you feel a emotional connection. Then, when that energy keeps moving upwards, you start sensing a merging of the souls. Yeah? So you go from eros, filio, storge, affection and loving, up to the crown, to oneness. Now, interesting enough, part of that is shown very, very clearly in the Ten Commandments. So what the heck does Ten Commandments have to do with it? So in the Old Testament, you have the Ten Commandments given by God to Moses. Remember? Some of you who studied this. Then the Lord Jesus said, let's summarize it. So he summarized it into two. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love God above all, right? No, wait. Love God above all, then love your neighbor as yourself. Anyway, you get the idea. So from 10, it got reduced to 2. Then, a lot of you who get on the spiritual path, what do? Just like we started the talk today. Before you start anything, you meet someone, instead of say, hey, how you doing? You have a great day, whatever, you say, namaste. So what does namaste really mean? Namaste means the spiritual essence in me salutes or honors there's a spiritual essence in you. In other words, you're seeing God's essence in the other person. Whether you like them or not, whether you interact with them or not, you realize, hey, in the universal field, in the world, in the universe, God's essence permeates all, including every particle of that person's being. God is in there. So you are saying namaste, not to the body, but to the spiritual essence, the soul, the divine spark that is inhabiting that body. You get the idea? So you say namaste. Now here's the secret. So for ordinary people who are not yet so developed, they need the 10 Commandments. Don't do this, do that, do this, don't do that. Because the upper chakras are not yet developed. So you need to give them rules and regulations. Make sense? Because since the upper chakras are not so developed yet, they're very, very low chakras. Basic chakra, right? Survival. Sex chakra, navel, physical power, solar plexus, me, I, right? So since those chakras are more developed than the top, you have to give them rules and regulations. Otherwise, what happens? There'll be chaos. But as people evolve, when people are on the spiritual path, the heart starts to develop. You start to have compassion towards others, right? Then the Lord Jesus explained, look, if you think about it, these 10 are summarized into 2. Love your neighbor as yourself, right? Here, love God above all. But people don't realize, as you tread that path, at some point, you say namaste to people, you do intense meditation, you feel your body disappear, you feel like you're just permeating the universe like brilliant light going in every direction, right? That's what they call enlightenment. In other words, enlightenment simply means you are having a realization, you are a being of light that radiates in every direction. Of course, if you have a light bulb, you turn it on, right? A low wattage bulb can only get so wide. 100-watt bulb, wider. 1,000-watt bulb, the light goes wider. So different souls had different realization of their light beingness. So what happens is, as the soul develops more and more, and as you get on the spiritual path, you start to realize, actually, I can feel a connection with everyone. That's when the crown is expanding. So as the crown is expanding, you start to realize this love starts to go a little further. You see people suffering, and you start to bother you. Before it's like, who cares, as long as it's not me, right? It starts to affect you, These people across the world, they're hungry, they don't have anything to eat, and here I have everything and I even waste food. What's wrong with me? Let me give more money. Let me do something to help these people across the world. See, at that point, the sense of love starts to become wider and wider. So when you say namaste to someone, literally, you're greeting God's essence in them. So the 10 commandments are starting to become the 2 commandments, the Lord Jesus said. And at some point, you start to realize when you see God in all, loving others as yourself and love God above all merges into one. And there's only one commandment. It's called oneness. Because as you sense you're one with all, the love becomes higher and actually permeate everything that is below it. That's what you call oneness. In other words, the love is ever expanding. I hope we didn't lose you on that one. Okay? So it's interesting, this thing about the 4 levels of love. And of course, if you search the internet, there are even more. So I've seen 8, I've seen this, I've seen that. But essentially, it's summarized something like this. Now, of all the love that's there, the one that is the most everlasting is agape. So when you do your meditation, your spiritual practice, that's what you're doing. Now, here's the interesting part. As you climb that ladder and you get to experience agape, then you start to experience that this light, this love permeates all. Then it starts to permeate downwards. In other words, you climb that ladder, you experience the love for all. Then that energy that is now pervasive, you start to have a realization that it starts to permeate downwards. That this unconditional love for all start to permeate your relationships. Then it also permeates your love for yourself and even the physical attraction to another person. Even when you have a physical connection, you start to realize everything in existence is part of God. Isn't that amazing? But people don't get there because if you're only part of the ladder, you don't get to see to the top. You never get to see the pervasiveness of that love. All right? Now, let's just, I have a few more minutes. Let's put something else together. Now, this love also has to be balanced. In other words, love, intelligence, and will or power have to be balanced. If you love someone, you have to love intelligently and at the right dosage. Let's do this again. When you love someone, you have to love what? Intelligently and at the right dosage. I know some of you say, really? Love just flows. Let's talk about it. If you have a child, you love the child so much, the kid makes a mistake. You say, I love them. They did something wrong. You never corrected them. So the kid goes, oh, it's okay to slap my classmate in class. Oh, it's okay to scream profanities that I see on TV. Oh, you love the kid, so you said, do whatever, I love you, do whatever you like. What happens? The kid becomes a problem, isn't it? Or you have a family member. When you show them love, you are actually enabling their bad behavior. Because they do something wrong, you don't chastise them. You say, no, that's not acceptable. You screaming and yelling at me, you doing these bad things, it's not acceptable. You know, oh, but I love them, I let them do whatever I like. See, that's not loving intelligently. It's not. Your so-called love creates a bigger damage. That's why we have a saying, love intelligently at the right dosage. In other words, you think, if I don't chastise this kid, right, if I don't tell this person, okay, that's not acceptable, you have to change yourself, right? The person will get worse. So that's loving intelligently. You're understanding the situation and you say, this is not right. Then the will aspect is what you do with it. In other words, the child makes a mistake, you just put the right amount of dosage, say, okay, do this, don't do that, do it in a certain way that the kid understands. At the right dosage means the proper application of the amount of will. Okay, you're grounded. You don't say, oh, you made that mistake, you're now have to sleep in a doghouse for the next 10 years. You get the idea? Or somebody says something nasty to you. If you sit there and go, okay, you cuss them out too, okay, you're wrong, blah, 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 so on, so on, so on, okay, I'll never talk to you ever again. That's wrong dosage. You get the idea? So this love has also to be balanced by intelligence or discernment, assessing the situation properly, and acting properly. Which brings us to the last point. Love is not sterile. What do we say? Love is not sterile. Part of this love also is connected to action. So when you see someone that you love hurt, you don't say, "Oh, I love you," and it's just a feeling, "Oh, I feel bad for you." That's not. You do something about it. You see people who are hungry, just like what happened in Massachusetts. He was walking down Santa Monica and says, "Who are these people down here?" He says, "Oh, Master, those are the hungry people." Really? So guess what he did? Next thing you know, he grabbed one of our students and took him, bought I think something like 300 burgers, went up and down and feeding them. Then he said, how could we pray our Father and allow our spiritual brothers and sisters to starve and not do anything? You see, the key is love is not sterile. Love is active. Love realizes what needs to be done, intelligent, right? Loving intelligently, and they do something about it. So if you think love is one of those things where you just sit there and feel love for everyone and sit on your butt and do nothing, that's not called love. That's just mushy, sentimental love, and it's not productive. In fact, if that happens over a period of time, the person gets so preoccupied with them, the person becomes isolated. Love is connection. Connecting to others, connecting to the environment, connecting to God. All right? So I hope that you have a better understanding about this. When I first thought about doing this, I go, I wonder if people they're looking for, that's good. I have nothing against, that's wonderful. I mean, you want to be hugged, you want to feel that loving feeling, that's all good. But you cannot do that 24 hours a day. True love is shown in action. You truly care for someone, you do anything or whatever is needed to make them better, right? That's real love. Love isn't just saying, "Oh, okay, oh, you're hungry. Okay, I feel bad for you. I hope you get something." You get the idea? Real love takes action. Just like love comes through teaching. If you notice someone is not doing something right, part of your love is educating them, letting them realize, hey, do this is better. Okay, I hope that helps. Now, so what we're going to do now, we'll do the meditation Twin Hearts. And this is universal love. And it's interesting, we started the heart, that's why it's human love, right? And then universal love, heart, crown, human heart, spiritual heart. That's why it's meditation Twin Hearts. All right, you ready? Okay. Okay, just close your eyes. Let's ask for blessing. To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, we humbly invoke for your blessings to all the spiritual elders, Holy Masters, Saints, Archangels, Holy Angels, especially the Angels of Love. To my teacher, Master Choa Kok Sui, Mahaguji Meli, and all the high beings, thank you for opening our hearts, our minds, our souls, our entire being to God's unconditional, infinite love. Thank you for using us as your instrument to share this love with all. As Master Choa said, all is all, including the people that have been nasty to you. All means all. All right? So, just inhale, exhale slowly. Take your left hand, tap your heart center. Take your right hand, tap your crown. Raise both hands in blessing. First, visualize the earth in front of you, the size of a little ball. A ball in front of you. Be aware of your heart with your hands like this. First, feel the love you have for people around you. Your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, children, parents, people who are close, feel the love for them because that's the easiest, right? Now feel that love, let it swell within you. Now let it flow from your heart through your hands and yet share it with the entire earth. We will use the prayer of Saint Francis of Assisi. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Wherever there is hatred anywhere in the world, let me sow unconditional love. Allow your heart to bloom with so much love. Let that love you have for your family and your loved ones just expand a little more, and let it flow through your hands. Bless the city you live in, the state, the country. Let that love just spread throughout the earth. Who there is injury, let me show pardon and forgiveness. Part of phileo and storge is the ability to forgive. Everybody makes mistakes. People we love make mistakes. We make mistakes. So part of this love of phileo, storge, and agape is the ability to forgive those who have hurt us. At the same time, we also have to learn to accept forgiveness for our mistakes, from ourselves and from others. Bless every person, every being with peace, with love, with a spirit of forgiveness for all. Where there's darkness, light, sadness, joy. As you keep projecting love, also think of the people who are suffering. Where there is doubt, faith, despair, hope. Bless these people with hope and faith and a better life. So be it. So be it. May all of them be blessed with peace, with love, with a spirit of forgiveness, with hope and faith, with light and joy. So be it. So be it. So it is. Now, as your heart chakra is expanding and expanding, allow the love within your heart to gently move up to the crown by gently inhaling. Go to the crown and exhale. One more time, be aware of your heart. Inhale. Go to the crown and exhale. And stay there. Be aware of your crown, the center of divine love and universal love. Allow this beautiful golden light to pour down through your hands to the planet Earth, blessing every person, every being. It's universal. That means beings from the lower worlds, the middle worlds, the higher worlds, even the people who have hurt us, may all be blessed. From the heart of God, through my soul, through my entire being, let every person, every being be blessed with love and kindness. Let all be blessed with great joy and happiness, with understanding, harmony, and divine peace. Let all be blessed, so be it. Bless your family, your friends, your loved ones, the people you work with, the city you live in, the state, the country. Let it spread through the entire world. So be it. So be it. Now, be aware of your heart and your crown. Both of them are glowing with beautiful golden light. Human love and divine love merges as one. Allow this loving force to just flow through us from both the heart and the crown, flowing through the hands, blessing your family, your friends, the people you work with, the city you live in. Now let it expand to the state, to the country, to the continent. Let that golden light spread to every continent, including the waters, the air, the entire earth. And let it keep flowing to the lower worlds, the middle worlds, the higher worlds, in every dimension. From the center of the heart of God, may every person, every being on earth, in the higher worlds, the middle worlds, even the lower worlds, in all 8 directions above and below. Above and below means every vibration, every frequency, every dimension. May all beings be blessed with unconditional love and kindness. Let all be blessed with inner peace and inner healing. Let all be blessed with understanding, with harmony, with goodwill, Let all be blessed with a willingness to do good. Let divine love prevail throughout the entire universe. So be it. From the center of the heart of God, may every person, every being be blessed without exception. Fill the earth with so much golden light. You and I are just instruments, just pipelines for this massive loving energy just flow through us. As it flows through us, it transforms every particle of our being, mirroring God's unconditional love for all. So be it. So be it. And so it is. So it is. Now gently lower your hands on your lap. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Now on top of your crown, imagine a beautiful golden star. A beautiful golden star above your crown. Be aware of the love within your heart. Just send a stream of love from your heart up to the crown and into that golden star. And that star explodes in brilliant light. Just look at that brilliant light. Just look at it. Maintain your stillness and awareness on that light. Just be still. Be aware of that light. Nothing but that light. Look at that light. Listen to the mantra Om. And put your gentle attention on the space, on the silence in between each Om. 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 Just look at the light. Experience the stillness, the peace, and let go. Om. Allow yourself to just gently dissolve and melt into that nothingness, into that silence. Now, any sound, any noise you hear will just allow you to go deeper and deeper into that ocean of golden light, experiencing stillness and peace now. let go. Gently, slowly, move your fingers, move your toes. Slowly and gently come back. Take your time. Slowly, gently come back to your body now. Move your fingers, move your toes. This activates your basic chakra and gently brings you back to your physical body. Are you alright? Take your time. Okay, raise your hands again. Let's release the excess energy by blessing first our loved ones. So visualize people you love in front of you. Fill them with golden light. Bless your relatives, your friends, the people you work with. Fill them with beautiful, unconditional love. And same thing, let it spread throughout the city, the state, the country. Let it spread throughout the entire earth. Let all be blessed with good health, happiness, prosperity, and spirituality. So be it. Now let's bless our Mother Earth. So just focus on your feet, the base of your spine, and your hands if you like. Imagine beautiful golden light pouring down deep to the earth below us. Repeat after me. Let our beloved Mother Earth be blessed with divine light, divine love, and divine power. Let our beloved Mother Earth be healed, regenerated, and revitalized. Blessings be to all of Mother Earth. So be it. So be it. So it is. All right. As customary, every time are you back? Okay, we do our full moon meditation. Could you please pull out your projects? We always do this during full moon. You have lots of energy. You can pull out all your projects, your goals, your aspirations. Just put them in front of you. You've written down. The ones who've taken the Kriya Shakti class, you know what to do to put them in front of you to have it supercharged. The rest of you are new. The idea is this. Parts of our life that are successful or are doing well have more energy. And so after meditation, you have all this energy that's pouring through us. Okay? Your body cannot absorb all of it anyway. When you do meditation Twin Hearts, just in case you didn't know, I remember when I first took the class with Grandmaster Choa. If a person's inner aura, different layer, if the inner aura is 6 inches to a foot, when you do a meditation Twin Hearts, it goes out at least 30 to 50 feet, 10 meters or more in each direction. You say, I don't feel it. You know why? Remember, it's spiritual force. It's high vibrating. So you don't feel it, but you are basically a glowing ball of light. Now, when you bless and release, bless your family members and so on, and also blessing the earth, you are releasing that energy that your body cannot absorb. And so, in addition to that, what we always do is you have all this energy anyway, you line up all your projects, things you want to be successful, and you take that energy, whatever your body cannot use anyway, instead of letting it dissipate, you just focus it there and just pump it up. All right? I hope that makes sense to you. All right, put it in front of you. Okay, I'll give you a few seconds. Ready? Okay. Say, we are one. We are one with God. We are one with all. There's only oneness. When you say that, it's just like instead of individual pipelines, we're now in one gigantic tunnel, so the energy just pour like that. Okay, hold your hand like this. Visualize all your projects manifesting properly. Now fill it with golden light. Take your time. Smile too. It helps. Keep going. Fill it with golden light. Keep going. You're doing well. Remember, parts of your life, relationships, finances, health, spiritual development, just different parts of your life. Fill it with golden light. Say, with God's blessings, so be it. All right. How's that feel? If you're sensitive, you could feel it coming through you, right? And you feel lighter. That's the idea. All right, let's give thanks, shall we? To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, we thank you. To all the spiritual elders, holy masters, to all the saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers, personally to my beloved and respected teacher, Master Choa Kok Sui Mahaguji Meiling, we thank you all for divine light, divine love. Thank you for the ability to love and care for others, but more importantly, the ability to love God, to experience that oneness with God, which translates to loving others at the same time. We thank you for all these blessings in full faith, and so it is. All right, so I hope you learned something, and it was very intense meditation. Even I was gone, so I had to say, "Oh, gotta come back." Anyway, so as always, we welcome all your comments. Somewhere here, just press, somewhere here, type your experiences. We read them. We like to know how you like it, you didn't like it, whatever. This is just to help us try to improve even more. And again, thank you very much. A lot of you have been donating. For the ones who are new, basically we'd love to have all these videos free, because there are a lot of people out there, maybe they're not doing well financially, whatever, but nevertheless, they want to spiritually develop, they want to be fed. Grandmaster Cho's teaching is, the way I look at it, is like the Himalayan, mountain range of teachings, and I can't get it out fast enough. And I'm so grateful to have that opportunity, and we'd like to share a lot more, and if we have it free, more and more people will benefit from it. And if you like to help pay for the expenses for all this other stuff, great. If not, don't worry about it, we'll continue to do it. But the ones who are namaste, God's blessing be with you. May you be blessed so many times for all your generosity, and may all the people who benefit from this, me too, thank you profusely. All right, Atma means soul. Namaste. We'll see you next time. Oh, a quick announcement. In a few weeks, we're having the Arhatic Yoga retreat by the beach. Some of you know about that. There's still room, I think. Anyway, so take all your prerequisites and everything. You like to come by. It promises to be a very, very intense weekend. Actually, 3 or 4 days. And just for the ones who don't know about it, what we try to retreat is something like this. Maybe we can't make it this one, maybe next year. We try to give you a certain time, okay? A certain time that's just for the development of the self. Not your physical self, that's part of it, but the spiritual self. We live such busy lives, right? You're being pulled in every direction. The purpose of a retreat is to retreat from that busyness and solely, S-O-L-E, focus on development of the soul, S-O-U-L. Okay, so we'll do intense meditation, and I haven't learned moderation yet. So just when you're full, we pack you with more energy, more meditation, more spiritual practice, because that's what you're there for, to really, really crank it up and just focus. And we call it spiritual boot camp. Keep going. All right. Anyway, so if you like, great. If not, that's fine. We'll keep doing this stuff. Continue to share whatever the teacher has. Other than that, Atma, Namaste. We'll see you next time. Happy Valentine's Day. May your heart, your mind, your soul be filled with God's infinite love. Bye.